what's up, everybody? Marcos Viegas, Fight Up TV, being joined with Ruguru, Mr. Regis Prograis, who's fresh off of this win versus Jojo Diaz in what was one hell of a fight, Regis. Man, people were talking about potentially one of the best fights of the year so far. Were you anticipating this fight to be as action-oriented and to turn out that way?
No, absolutely not, man. One thing I did a few interviews saying this, man. One thing I have bad is I underestimate my opponents. I was like, man, I'm gonna smoke Jojo. I was like, man, I'm gonna knock him out in the first round, first two rounds. The first punch I'm gonna hit him with, he's gonna be gone. And I was definitely far from the truth, man. Like he came to fight, he was in a lot of shape. He did a long training camp, and the thing is, we didn't know we was going. They told me I was gonna fight. I was supposed to fight Jojo, but then I know he fought in Mexico. He had a fight in Mexico, so he was a little, I guess, a little more ready than I was. Cause I mean I did a 2 month camp, but he did like a 3 or 4 month camp, and he had a fight, and then they said we gonna fight him. But I definitely didn't anticipate the fight being like that.
Yeah, man. Let's go through the fight and some of the things that takeaways from the fight. First off, were you hurt or were you off balance in some of these rounds where it looked like he might have buzzed you?
I don't know. I mean, no, I definitely wasn't hurt, bro. I mean, the thing is, I mean, you've been around boxing for a long time. It's like sometimes you might get hit, and it's like pressing a button. You don't feel hurt, but your leg might just go numb, and that's kind of what happened. The first round, I remember he hit me with a hook on the right side of my head, and my
Yeah,
left leg.
that one
Yeah,
I noticed. That
right.
one I thought was maybe a balance shot because of the year.
Yeah, exactly. And so he hit me like that, and then my leg went numb. That's all. I wasn't hurt or nothing like that. I mean, if I would have been hurt, I would have took a knee or something like that. But I was ready for the. I was like, all right, come on, you think I'm hurt? Let's go ahead and fight out right now. But I feel like I never was hurt in the fight, bro. My face looked the same since Saturday, since last Saturday. My face looked the same. I had no bruising, no nothing. I mean, I was a little. We bumped heads a little bit a few times on the inside, so the top of my head was a little sore, but I never was hurt in the fight the whole time, bro. But yeah, I do have. I mean, I've been having this. I have balance issues. So a lot of people think like even I can move around the ring and nobody hits me, and sometimes I might just fall and stuff like that. It's just kind of that's I do. I have flat. It's genetics too. My dad has the same thing. He has flat feet, and I have flat feet, so I have balance issues. So of course I that's something I need to work on.
Yeah, because some people were wondering, like, hey, man, is Regis able to take a punch? On the broadcast, I felt they kind of went in on you
I
over
know.
that. Yeah, yeah.
I
What'd you
know, I
make
know
of
how
all
it
that?
is.
Yeah.
I saw it, man. It's just like damn, I saw one thing. I mean, it seemed like they was all JoJo, even from before that, bro. Before the fight, it seemed like they was all JoJo, which is cool. I know people got their picks and choose. Everybody's human, but it just shows, the bias, how biased it was and stuff like that. And I heard Sergio say he was like, oh, can JoJo turn back the hands of time? But like I think I'm 5 years older than JoJo. Like, what do you how's he gonna turn back the hands of time? What are you talking about? Like, huh? They was saying, oh, can he turn back the hands of time? But like, bro, I'm way older than JoJo, so like, it's just like I don't know. I just feel like I just don't get no credit, but it is what it is, and I mean, I'm gonna just keep going.
Overall, after the fight, how'd you feel about the performance? And then, given like now it's been like a week and a half, 2 weeks, what do you think about like how the fight turned out for you?
I loved it. I like the fight. I wanted to be a fight like that. I want to be in exciting fights, bro. I've been a champion twice. I want to be a champion again. But if I can be in fights like this and then still come out on top and win, that's cool, bro. I don't want to be. I think we leave in the era of the boring fights. Well, people just want to hold the O and stuff like that. Like I want to be in exciting fights. People remember that. People remember me and Josh Taylor fight in 2019. That was supposed to be like that was the fight of the year candidate. And the same thing now. It's 2025, 24, 25, whatever we in, and it's a fight of the year candidate again. So I want to be in fights like that because they are very memorable. And that's kind of for me, that's what I do it for. Like it's not, I'm not just doing it to be memorable, but I've been a world champion already twice. So now I feel like, yeah, I do want to be in. I like that. I like those type of fights, and it really gets me mentally ready for whatever's next.
Okay, because some boxers would say like, "Nah, man, I don't want to be slugging it out like that. I don't want to be taking punches like that." I think Shakur mentioned it something like that with his Zapata fight. Like, hey, I know I had to bite down, but I don't want to be doing that stuff. So it's refreshing to hear that from you because yeah, sometimes boxers will say like, "No, I don't want to be in fights like that."
That's, I mean, everybody's different, bro. I got into boxing for a different reason. I like I love to fight. Like the only reason I'm still doing it, I don't need to fight no more. Like I don't have to be away from my family and fight no more. That's just what I love to do. Like for me, like that's my purpose right now. What else I'm gonna do with my life if I didn't fight right now? You know, go be just sit at home all day and watch TV. I wouldn't want to do that. So I like to train. I like to train hard, and I like to have fights like that, and it's fun. Obviously, you don't want to take crazy punishment, you know. But I mean, I feel like I didn't. I'm not. I don't walk messed up. I don't talk bad. Nothing like. I still read a lot, so my mind is still intact. So I'm fine. I'm cool. I like it.
I had heard a clip shared on Twitter that you didn't have the best experience in Chicago. Something had happened with the commission. Can you let me know about that?
The mission was terrible. They was terrible, bro. Like they threatened to throw my wife in jail. They want to throw my manager in jail. Even when my wife was like, whatever, I don't care. You know, they called the police on my wife. They told her they was gonna put in jail for trespassing because she came in the back after I fought. Her and my son came in the back. It's not like I had 1,000 people back there. It's just like her and my son came in the back, and they was like, oh, you can't be back here. My wife's like, I did this every time. I had 30 something fights, and every time she came in the back after the win, and you know, it's just I don't know, man. I don't know what the hell was wrong with the commission with that. And before the fight, you know, my son likes to. The only reason my son came to Chicago, he likes to walk me to the ring. So my son came and he was walking to the ring, and we were standing in the hallway. Both me and Jojo were standing in the hallway across from each other, about to walk to the ring. And then the lady was like, "Oh, he can't be back here. He can't. My son is 11, a little kid. So he was like, no, he don't need to be back here. He got to go. He got to go." Like, what? Luckily, one of Golden Boy's cameraman, he saw him. He just put him in the crowd. He said, "Look, he's, you know, when you walk to the ring, he'll just come out from behind the crowd." But you know, they was like, "Oh, he got to go back to seat. He has to go back to seat." So I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with the. You know, I mean, Chicago is a great fight town. You know, the fans was crazy. It was good on there, but the commission was just they just wasn't good. You know, and they told him they was good. My after my they threatened to arrest my wife and my manager, and you know, they was like they didn't care. My wife didn't care about it. Like, all right, whatever. I go to jail. You know, they would want to be in my dressing room after the fight, but then they was like, "Oh, I'm gonna withhold the purse. If you don't leave, I'm gonna withhold the purse." So of course, when they said that, everybody's like, they got the message and they all left.
Wow. Okay. Were they not like not given passes? Like, what happened
I
there?
mean, they gave passes, but I mean, still, I guess they didn't like. I mean, my son, they got my son before the fight, and you know, he was standing in the hallway, but I guess he didn't have a pass on, so they didn't let it. But they didn't let. Usually, you know, I mean, I've been in a bunch of fights, big fights and stuff, and usually they give you more than a few passes. They'll get, you know, for the credentials and stuff. I think they gave three each team. And I mean, what I heard, I didn't see it myself, but I heard like Kenny's from Chicago. Kenny had the same thing about three passes, and Duarte had a bunch of people in his dressing room. Now I saw that myself personally. I saw Duarte had so many people in his dressing room. So it's like I don't know if they was playing favoritism. I don't know, but I didn't have that many people in mine either. I didn't have a lot of people in my like I said, we had 3 or 4 passes and that was it. You know, I had to get somebody to go get my son. And they when he was in the hallway, they didn't want to let him walk. So I was like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah, that is strange because usually if you guys have the passes or even I've even seen, they walk the family members in and they allow them in the locker room. Did they say
Yes.
like what the issue was?
They just said go. You got to get out. You can't be here. That's all. After like I said, after I fought, I went to the of course you have to see the doctor. When I was sitting inside with the doctor, my wife and my son walked past the curtain and they was going. My dressing room was right across the hallway, and they was going there. And the lady was like, "No, you can't be here. No, no, no. You got to go. You got to go. You got to go." And my son, like, bro, what? I just finished fighting. Let me, let us. Why can't they go in the dressing room? My dressing room was right across the hall from the doctor. While I was seeing the doctor, and they didn't want to let him come. So I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know what that was about. I don't know. Whatever.
Have you made like a formal inquiry or like complaint towards the commission and the commissioner?
Nah, I mean, I let it go. I just hope maybe if I fight Chicago again, I'm gonna have some trouble if I go fight there again, you know. But yeah, I know I have a lot of trouble if I do that. But no, I didn't say nothing. I mean, the fight is over. Everything happened. My son still walks to the ring with me, so I mean, it is what it is. I can't really worry about it. And they didn't hold my purse or nothing like that, so whatever. We just had trouble. A lot of people had trouble. We got out of there. I'm back home. I'm safe. I'm good. I'm happy. So it don't matter.
You had mentioned, I think during the press conference on that Thursday, that you had wanted to sign with Golden Boy. Now was your chance to like kind of
Yeah.
be a part of that. Are
Mhm.
you in fact with Golden Boy now? What's
I'm with
like?
Golden Boy.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
signed with
signed.
Golden Boy. I'm signed with Golden Boy.
Okay, I
Yes,
didn't know
I'm
that. I
signed with
wasn't
Golden Boy.
sure.
Yeah, I'm signed with Golden Boy. Now that's what I'm saying. Like, so when I first came from New Orleans, I was around like Juan Diaz and Rocky Juarez, and the Charlo twins. I think Jamel at the time signed with Golden Boy, and I thought I was gonna get signed with Golden Boy. I think Highland Williams, Danny Jacobs, they was all signed with Golden Boy, and I thought I was gonna be the same thing. I came out the Olympic trials, but nobody wanted me. I told Oscar, said, "Man, y'all didn't want me. Nobody wanted me at that time." But it's I'm here now.
How many fights did you sign with them?
3 fights.
Three
Two
fights.
more. Yeah,
Two
two more
more. Two
fights. I
more.
mean, if everything goes like they supposed to go, everything goes great with Golden Boy. Shit, I don't have no reason not to stay with Golden Boy if everything goes great.
All right. So, you win this fight. What's their plan for you? Like, how do you guys plan these next two fights?
Nah, bro, I have a manager. I have a good manager, Brian Peters. So I'm letting him kind of handle everything now.
Oh
Like
yeah, that's
he,
right. Because you were doing a lot of that stuff on your own, right?
I was doing everything for myself. I thought that I could do it. Man, I was totally wrong. If any fighter is listening to this, man, have a good manager. Don't try to do things by yourself. I was trying to, I was trying to hold all the money. I didn't have to pay a manager, but man, that hurt me in the long run. My Matchroom days. I signed 3 fights with Matchroom, and I really didn't have a manager. I was doing everything by myself. And that was a terrible, terrible idea. You need a manager to do things for you. No matter, I mean, you just need you need somebody to do it. So now I have a manager, and he's gonna do everything. All I have to do is train, But before I was training, I was doing the business things. I had to do so much stuff, and now like all that's over. I can worry about fighting now.
Okay, yeah. You mentioned that it hurt you in a way that it was just too much on your plate.
Yeah, way too much. I mean, you doing the stuff as a manager. You trying to be a manager and a fighter, and I thought I can do it, and I feel like I could do it, but I can't fight and do it at the same time. I can't be at the top. I can manage myself now and talk to who I need to talk to, Eric Gomez and Oscar and everybody if I need to, but that's gonna hurt my performance. Like I need to focus on. You have to have your focus on only fighting. So now my focus is on only fight, only training. But when you trying to play the role as a manager and a fighter, you have to do all this stuff, all these things that the manager does, and a manager has a very big and important job. So now I'm just focused on fighting. So now I let my manager, he's gonna do everything. He'll direct me wherever I need to go, and sometimes it's with that being said, sometimes the promoters have a different respect for a manager also. With the fighters, they kind of look at us as like cattle. That's why I feel like the promoters, they look at us as cattle, because at the end of the day, if I'm not here, it's gonna be somebody else right in my position, right in my spot. So they don't look at us like that. But the managers, they have to deal with those managers, for a long time. So the manager is definitely good to have a good manager.
Have you noticed like the difference? Like, or were you savvy enough to be like, hey, you know what? I got myself a good deal. The manager's doing just as good of his job as I did before.
No, I noticed the difference. I definitely, because I'm clear. I'm clear headed right now.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about anything. I don't have to worry about. I don't have to, like you said, win the next fight. I don't have to worry about that. My manager, he'll tell me. I don't have to talk to nobody about fights. I don't have to do none of that stuff. I can tell him what I want, and he's gonna do everything. But before, when I was with Matchroom, I would meet with Eddie. I would talk to Eddie myself. But you want, as a fighter, you want to be shielded away from that. It's cool to talk to him. The promoters, that's what they want. The promoters want to talk to the fighters, because they can make them do different things because they're really slick. But when you have a good manager, they can't get around that stuff. So I definitely feel the difference. See and feel the difference right now.
Oh wow, that's interesting. Um, yeah, I would imagine negotiations would get kind of tricky, like from fighter to promoter, and yeah, like the manager does have a role. Uh, I'm just because I'm curious. How was it negotiating with Eddie? Is he like a tough negotiator?
I would think so. Eddie's really, really slick. He has that UK accent. He'll still friendly to you, but one thing about Eddie, man, Eddie is a shark. He's a good businessman. And you have to realize, I've been on this side of the train tracks for my whole career. I've been a fighter. I'm not a manager, I don't. So whatever he said, he's gonna be better at me, because that's what he does. As a fighter, he can make everything sound good. But as a manager, they know the bullshit, and I'm not saying Eddie was bullshit, but they know what they talking about. They know what they're doing. So it's always a big difference in and you talking to somebody that has a lot. When you're talking to different people that have a lot of experience, you're gonna treat them a little different. You treat them with respect. They probably knew, Eddie knew that. I didn't know what I was talking about. I'm just saying things. But as a manager, with the manager, he knows now you can't play with him. So it's a different type of respect.
So with the manager, what does he put out there for these next two fights? I know your goal is to be a three-time world champion
Mhm.
at 140 pounds, but what's the roadmap to that look like now?
That's I'm out right now. Don't know. Right now, just
Yeah.
stay in the gym. Right now, I'm like I went to Vegas and trained for 2 months, bro, and that was my hardest camp I ever did, as far as mentally, physically, and emotionally. That was the hardest thing I ever did in my life, just because physically they trained so hard in Vegas. It was like, man, and mentally, I didn't know. Every day was like it was a challenge. I didn't know if I was the first 2 weeks. I didn't know if I was gonna make it past camp. I was like, damn, bro, 2 weeks. I got 2 months of this shit. I got 6 more weeks. That's gonna be a long time, but I made it, and I'm glad I did it. And then emotionally, this is my first time I was away from my kids. That's why right now I want to be home. I don't even think about fighting. I still train every day. I talk to my coaches, and they tell me what to work on at my house, but I don't even want to think about boxing right now, just because it was. I don't even want to be away from the family right now. It's a lot of people don't realize the sacrifice. You can't be a regular person. You really, really have to sacrifice a lot. And the main thing you have to sacrifice is your family. So, I think I told you before, man. My son is 11. He's turning 12 in October, and most likely I'll be back in the camp. Most likely, I would think that around the late October, I will most likely be back in the camp some type of way. But I'll miss another. He's about to turn 12. I miss his birthday again, and he's like I said, he's 11 now, and I missed about six of his birthdays. So it's a lot, man. You miss a whole lot of stuff, and time is one thing we cannot get back. But it's the big sacrifice you have to make.
What did you notice like a huge difference doing it this way as compared to before?
a a huge difference, a
Yeah.
really really big difference, man. Listen, I went to Vegas. All we did, I promise, bro. All we did is train all day. The
Mhm.
gym was about 30 minutes from where I was staying at. So if I'm going 2 or 3 times a day, you talk about an hour. Like no, yeah, day and back 30 minutes. So you talk about 2 hours, 3 hours a day just in the car. So it's training. I would go to the house, hurry up, take a shower, change my clothes, put my clothes outside, let them dry because it's Vegas. It dry real fast. Get some food. My chef will cook for me. I get some food. Then after that, I'm laying down. That's it. I'm telling you, my best part of my day every day was laying in the bed. I couldn't wait to lay down. I could not wait to lay down. I was like, oh, I can't wait to just hit this bed. That was the best part of my day every day. So you talk about 6 days a week, train all day long. The whole day was revolved around training. It's different when you're home, because when I'm here, just like all right, I train a day, but I had a time clock on because I had to do stuff with my kids. Like my kids getting out of school, I have to do things. I have to go to the store with my wife. I have to do a lot of different stuff. But when I'm there, I don't have none of those responsibilities. All it is training all day long. So it's a big difference. But I'm not gonna lie, I would have if I didn't do that, I would have lost the fight for sure.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, if I didn't train the way I train, that's why I know that's the secret success for me. That's the secret ingredient for me. I have to go out there and train and just be locked in. I mean, Vegas is a place you can get pulled into all the glitz and the glam, but if you get pulled into the strip and all that stuff, you can. But while I'm saying that, it's away from all that stuff. So all we do is literally train, eat, sleep, train. That's it.
Oh wow, yeah, yeah. That wears on you. That's for sure. The monotony of camp, and then especially there, right now it's so damn hot. Um,
Right.
the nice
Exactly.
thing is the night training. It's hot enough to get a workout during the night.
You're right. Exactly. Yeah, it is.
When you look at like the title picture, the other champions, you got Hitchens, you got Gary Antoine Russell, you got Sabril Matias. We don't really know what's going to happen with Tio, if he's going to move up or not. And I think Isaac Cruz just won a belt as well.
hmm
I know you're probably going to say I want all of them, but like to you, what's like the ideal path there?
Brother, it don't matter. That's the try. I really
Yeah, I
don't
knew
matter.
it. I knew you were going to say that.
It don't. It just. I just want to be a champion again, bro. So whoever give me a shot, that's what I'll do. That's the only thing. Whoever give me a shot, it doesn't matter. I just want to be a champion again. That's the main thing. So whoever gives me a shot at the belt, that's what I'll take. Of course, at the right time and things like that. Yeah, take take whoever. I
Thinking
just want to be a
here.
champion again.
I think stylistically, the best fights for you would be, even though he's interim, Pitbull Cruz or Sabril Matias. I think those two would
Right.
be really, really exciting
And
fights.
they are they both? I know Matthias is WBC. He's a
Yeah.
two-time champion also, and Isaac is WBC something.
Yeah. The
So
interim.
yeah, interim. So
Yeah.
maybe, and I think Isaac Cruz is a easier fight to make too. I don't know about Matthias, but I know Isaac Cruz is an easier fight to make because I train at Knuckleheads, which is
Ah,
Sean
with
Gibbons,
Sean. Okay. You
with
got a
Sean,
relationship there.
which
Yeah.
is Yeah, so I mean, I think that could, that could be something. Basically, it could be something on the table. Matter of fact, Isaac, he just fought on Pacquiao thing, and he was in the gym. I saw him
Yeah.
some a few times. I was working out, and he was there. So yeah, it could be something.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, man. I would. Yeah, I think that that fight would be a very exciting one. The other ones would be good as well, but I think just stylistically, like those two would be probably like the most action-packed type of fights that we would see given the styles.
Right, right, right. Exactly. So yeah, for me, like I said, I just talk to my manager now, bro. Whatever he wants to plan for me, that's what I'll do.
Yeah, and you're still in the gym. I could tell by your face. You still look really, really
I
slim. Like
still
you were.
train. I train every day,
Yeah.
bro. That's what I'm saying. I train early. I want to continue to get better. It's not about you. You can't have a victory and just sit on it. Nah, like I want to have a victory and I'm gonna keep working. I know my thing is I have balance issues. I get my legs stronger. So all right, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna work on my balance and I'm gonna get my legs stronger.
Mm. Uh, you had mentioned you want to be home right now. You want to hang out with your kids. You want to see them. But foreseeably, like how quick of a turnaround do you want to go back in?
Maybe end of November, December, if I can.
Yeah.
Before the end of the year's up, beginning of the year, I do want to. Hopefully, I can get something because I mean I'm with the kids and stuff now, but I know that eventually I'm going to get bored. I know me. I'm going to get bored. I'm going to be ready to get back in the camp. It's only so much stuff I can do here at my home, um, to for training wise. I'm eventually I want to be in the gym around the fighters. So maybe like I said, maybe December, November, late November or December.
Okay. All right. Uh, I got to ask you too, just because you fought Devin. What do you think about this Brian Norman fight, man? Like a lot of people, I feel that I see like online on Twitter are divided. They're either going one way or the other. Like, do you see it that way? Like a 50-50 fight?
I do. I see a 50-50 fight. I think that Devin, he's a boxer. He's better than what people think he is, but the Ryan thing, it could have messed him up. I mean, no matter if Ryan was on something or not, I mean, he still took a beating. So you just never know how he's gonna react to that. And I think Brian Norman could land some, if he does land like that, he can hurt Devin. But Devin is a not just a good boxer, a great boxer. He's gonna move around. He does have size now. He's getting strong. He's getting better. And one thing about him, like I think that Devin is just like he's motivated by the hate. He loves it. So people can say what they want, but at the end of the day, it's only one person that can get in the ring, and that's gonna be him. So I see the same thing. I do see a 50-50. If I had to put I don't bet, but if I had to put my money, I would bet money on Devin.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it just because you fought him or you see something that like people aren't like noticing in the fight?
Now I mean, I fought him and I know how good he is, and it's like he does. He's a good boxer. We cannot take that away from him that he is a good boxer. He knows how to not to get hit. No matter if he makes it boring. Now we're not saying that, but same thing with Ramirez. He just he moved around. He ran around. You could say run around. He ran around the ring for 12 rounds. Same thing with me. He had good feet. And he just know how to move out the way. So he's gonna. I think that's what he's gonna do. So I would. I mean, and then you gotta think, bro, resumes matter. Like whose resume is better, Brian Norman's or Devin Haney's? I mean, I think like a lot of people hate Devin Haney so much because of, I think maybe outside stuff and they don't really know him. But like, bro, you gotta at the end of the day, like I don't have to like you, but I gotta respect it. And like you gotta look at his resume, bro. Devin got a resume. Brian Norman don't have a resume like Devin. So I would go with Devin.
The experience.
Experience, bro. Experience, resume, all that stuff. I would go with Devin. Big fight experience too. I mean, Brian Norman has never been in a big fight like if he fights Devin Haney. So, that I think, same thing with me. That kind of got to me a little bit. And there might, I'm not saying it's gonna get to him, but it could get to him. Being in a big old fight like that under the lights, it'd be different.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that I've seen in regards to that fight online is if Norman lands, they feel that he will more than likely stop Devin.
Mhm.
Like you mentioned, the problem is being able to land on Devin when
Right.
he decides to box and use the jab. But yeah, I just feel like a lot of people are like, "Yo, look at the people that Norman has knocked out. Like he's on a streak. He has everything going for him. He's a big puncher. Like eventually, he's gonna catch Devin."
And it could be true. I mean, the confidence thing is he's been on a streak and it could be true about that, but Devin is a good boxer. Devin doesn't care about making a fight not boring. He's gonna hit and run and he'll just jab him and run around the ring and maybe one to him and make it, like I said, don't he doesn't have to make it exciting at all. But Well, like I said, we'll see. I think 50-50, but I'll go with Devin.
Yeah, I wonder if because I know he's mentioned that he can box and he would like to show some of that, but I wonder if Brian were to like box in the mid distance, like if he could outbox a Devin.
I don't think he should do that. I don't think that's the You don't want the thing is I've been there, so you don't want to get into you don't want to let the media get into your head. You want to fight your fight. You know, you never want to let people tell you who you are. That's what my coach told me. Like, don't let nobody tell you who you are. You determine who you are by yourself. So I don't think that he should do that. I think that he should go out there and fight his fight. Don't let the media and the reporters tell you how to fight Devin. No, you go out there and fight yourself. Don't say, oh, I can't box and stuff like this, so I'm gonna prove I can box. Why would you do that? It doesn't make sense. Go out there and fight. If I had to tell him something, I say go out there and fight your fight. Be you. Don't worry about being him. He's gonna box. We know he's gonna box. We all know that. So why would you try to go out there and outbox him? It doesn't make sense. You know what he's gonna do. You saw his you saw his last fight. He's gonna try to hit and move everywhere he can for 12 rounds. Devin is not coming to knock nobody out. He's just not. He's not coming to try to hurt you. He's not coming to try to knock you out. He's gonna move. He wants to do that for 12 rounds. That's what he wants to do. So don't. If I was Brian Norman, I won't listen to the media because I tried the same. I did the same thing. Try to listen to the media. Nah, don't do that. Listen to yourself. Trust in your abilities. You got there for a reason. You trust in your abilities.
Yeah, like that last fight, and this would actually be an interesting thing to kind of get your thoughts on. So a lot of people felt like the way Devin fought was because of what happened in the Ryan fight, and he was just playing it safe. People mentioned like, oh, maybe he has some sort of like PTSD from like the fight and doesn't want to take any unnecessary risk. Like,
Hmm.
do you feel that way?
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
feel that way. I mean, you fought like that with Ramirez. Ramirez is, I mean, I don't want to say washed up because they can call me washed up, right? But I don't want to say Ramirez is old and washed up. But Ramirez is older, and he just like ran around from Ramirez. I mean, it was times in the fight where it was like literally a minute went by and nothing was strong. It was just movement, by foot movement all day, like just so much foot movement. So I don't think that. Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe he does have PTSD, but now he's going up against a big puncher. So you got to think if he did that with Ramirez, what you think he gonna do with Brian Norman? You know, Brian Norman is a bigger puncher than Ramirez, and he's at 147. So if he did that with an older Ramirez, now Ramirez was a dog when he was young, but he is older now. So if he did that with Ramirez, what do you think he's gonna do with Brian Norman? He's gonna do the same thing. He's gonna hit and move all around the ring for 12 rounds. He's not trying to come and knock you out. So I think that Brian Norman, yeah, he shouldn't fall into that, man. Don't try to outbox him. Nah, fight your fight.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting if yeah, if he goes straight at him or if he tries to, see if he could time him in the mid distance. Like I don't
Mhm.
know. Like usually Devin has a longer reach than his opponents, but I don't know like how much of a reach
At
Norman has
47.
compared, yeah, to
Right, be a
to
little
Haney.
different.
Yeah.
Right, right. And you got Haney's growing, bro. He's getting bigger too. He is growing. He's getting bigger. He's getting taller. He's getting longer. His body is getting big. He's still young. He just made 25 or something like that, 26, whatever he made. So he's getting bigger. So he might have a reach advantage. I never know. But at 47, it's gonna be interesting to see.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to that fight. Another one that I feel like the world is looking forward to, and you break down these fights so well, Regis, is this Canelo versus Crawford fight. First off, how do you see it based on what we've seen so far from the press conferences and what you personally know from boxing?
Um, I feel like, man, really both of them. I was watching the skull fight the other night. I think that first off, I think that Crawford has the ability to outbox Canelo. You got to look at, and then Canelo's older. Crawford has the ability, but he's small. And he can look bigger in Crawford could look bigger in the weigh-ins and all that stuff, but it's always a difference. When you get that fight with somebody, you can tell. Same thing with Jamel. Jamel fought him, the twin. He fought Crawford, and in all the stuff, the weigh-ins and the press conference, Jamel looked like the bigger man. His head, his neck, everything looked bigger. But when they got in the fight, you can tell. You can see really was the bigger man. And I think that's the same thing. Crawford is putting on weight, but it's not weight like Canelo had the weight already. He doesn't have to put on muscle. He doesn't have to do that. He's already big like that. But I think that Crawford does have the style. He does have the style to beat him. If you look at the people that beat him or gave him troubles, Irislan, DeLaura, Austin Trout, um, Floyd, and Bivol. They gave him trouble and stuff like that. And Skull moved around a little bit too. So I think that Crawford has that. But I don't know how Crawford is gonna respond when he gets hit. Same thing with Jamel. Jamel was a 54. Jamel was undisputed at 154, and Canelo hit him and shit. Jamel was like, hell no. Jamel took a knee. So it's a big difference. And Crawford had that one fight at 154, and he didn't. Madrimov would touch him up a little bit. And this is nowhere close to Madrimov. This is you talk about Canelo. Now if it was just another bigger guy, I would go with Crawford. But you talk about great. This might be. I mean, people might kill me for it, but well, not really. But this might be the best Mexican fighter ever. One of them, at least, right? You talk about Canelo and Crawford going up against him. So the only thing they have, but I would say the only thing he has going for him is he's a skillful fighter, and Canelo is older, but so is Crawford too. I think Crawford is 37, 38, something like that. Canelo's 36, so they both are older right now. Um, but man, I don't personally see it. Now, a lot of people see that Crawford can beat Canelo. Man, it's just like that punch resistance is something else. They make weight classes for a reason. If he could beat him, man, I think he on the Mount Rushmore of fighters if Crawford can pull this off. But I don't see it.
You think the weight just going to be too much at the end of the day over the
I
course
think
of
the
12
weight.
rounds?
Yes, bro. I think the weight too much. If you never fought, he going to two division. If you never fought that too, and like I said, with Madrimov, that was his first fight at 154, and Madrimov was like hitting him a little bit. And this is like I said, this is dude. I forgot Madrimov had 15 fights or something like that, or whatever he had. I don't know, but Crawford is experienced. He's bigger, and he's Canelo. He's one of the best to ever do it. So I don't know, man. I don't see it. I know everybody they want Crawford to win. Everybody wants the underdog to win. That's just how it is in boxing. But I don't know, man. I don't see it.
Yeah, that's I would say that's the biggest question is like what happens
When they
when
get hit.
Canelo lands. It's not like what happens in the first few rounds. It's like what happens when we get to 10, 11, 12. Like what's happening there.
Right.
And the pace. And like that's the other thing. Like I've heard like a lot of people recently start saying like, hey, like Crawford's not really like a mover. Like he's good at slipping punches and staying in the pocket
Mhm.
and doing lateral movement, but he's not a skull type guy that's like moving around,
Right.
moving
With the
around,
foot.
moving
Yeah.
around.
With the
Yeah.
feet moving. Right. Yeah. He's not like that. So, and he's, like I said, he's getting older now too. So I don't know, man. I don't see if Crawford could pull it off, it'll be major. But I don't see it, man. Canelo's big. He's strong. And I saw some people talk about he gonna knock him out. I mean, Crawford could be hit by Triple G. He been hit by Kovalov, Triple G, big punches. Irulan de Lara. He
Duvall.
like a Bivol. He been hit by real big punches. So I don't think it's gonna do nothing, man. It's a different man. When you been there, and Crawford is not. Canelo is thick. His neck is thick. It's all big, man. I don't know, man. I don't see it.
Yeah, like I wonder how Canelo's gonna like. They always say like, hey, get your respect, like really early on, like in the first round. Like I wonder, Crawford if he's gonna have enough oomph in those punches to make Canelo like think twice about
I
throwing
don't
or
see it.
moving in certain positions.
I don't see it. I mean, I think he can catch him because he might be faster, but it's man, I just can't see it, man. I don't see him how he gonna get the respect of how is he gonna get the respect of Canelo? Canelo fought Triple G, man, one of the biggest punchers at that time, and like I said, Beaver, all these big punchers. So I don't know. I don't see it. If Crawford could do it, man, you on the shit, not just Hall of Fame, you on Mount Rushmore to me, but I can't see it.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's like the intriguing thing, right? Because it's like
Yeah.
if there's one guy we think like can do it because his IQ is so good, it's
Mm-hmm.
Terrence, and it's like
Right.
that's part of the intrigue is like how is he going to solve this puzzle? But Canelo has a hell of an IQ too.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's not just anybody. It's not just a regular 168 pounder. This is Canelo. This is the best in the world. One of the best fighters, matter of fact, ever. And Canelo is strong as hell. He could take a punch. So I don't see it.
Mm-hmm. Is there outside of that fight, Regis? Is there any other one that you're really looking forward to or like really interested in?
The one I was looking forward to was the Daniel Dubois and Usyk.
Oh,
I was
Usyk.
looking for. Man, Usyk is he a bad dude, bro. I'm not gonna lie, that's a badass dude, bro. As a southpaw, I gotta study him because that's a badass dude, bro. I felt like it was gonna happen. A lot of people was picking when I was in Vegas watching. A lot of people was picking Daniel Dubois. I was like, bro, Usyk, bro. He good, bro. He's real good. So that was who else is coming up?
You got Benavides and Yard. Uh,
That's good. That's a good fight. But I mean, Yard doesn't have that big of a name.
mm,
Like that was I was more interested in Benavidez versus David Morrell. I know
yeah.
David Morrell, so I was interested in that fight. Um I don't know, man.
You
I
got
don't know.
Tank and Lamont. We hope by the end of the year.
Yeah, I'm that now that's interesting. If that does happen, that'll be interesting to watch that if it does happen. I heard Tank retiring and stuff like that, so we don't know. We kind of don't know what's going on with that. That'll probably be, of course, when Tank fight, everybody want to watch that. Everybody just kind of anxious to see what's gonna happen. So that'll probably be something I want to watch for sure.
Hey, let me ask you this, just because I got burned on Twitter over this, and maybe I am crazy, but Andre Ward called out
So the
Anthony
end Josh.
Joshua. Yeah. What happens if he comes out of retirement? He's been out of retirement for like 8 years now, but can he do it? Like, what do you think of
I
that?
don't think so. Andre
You don't
Ward,
think so?
my dog, man. He like the big Floyd, man. Andre Ward, man. Age is something else. And then you talk about Andy Joshua. That's a big old strong dude, bro. And yeah, of course, he can. Same thing like it's like the Canelo versus the with Crawford. Yeah, he has the skill, but it'll be like a little a mosquito just picking at a gnat, just picking at you, and then you just with that net. You just eventually just smash that net. So I can't see, man. And Andre Ward wasn't known to be like a big puncher either. Like I mean, he was a respectable
Yeah, but
puncher,
not
but
like a killer.
he wasn't like a big. And then he's older, so I can't see it, man. I really can't see it.
Oh,
I don't see him beating Andy Joshua at all. If Andy Joshua lands on him, Andy Joshua is 6'6", 240 pounds of pure, like literally pure muscle. He doesn't even have to box him at all. All you gotta do is just put his hands up and walk forward and just jab him. And I think when Andre Ward feels that he hasn't felt a punch in how many years? 8 years or something like that, man. And to fight Andy Joshua, no, it's different, bro. I can't see it.
all right.
Andrew Ward, that's my dog. So I love Andrew Ward, bro. I love him, but man, I can't see him with Andy Joshua. He better be getting a big paycheck for that.
Let me play devil's advocate here. All right. Let me list some things and just give me your response. Okay, AJ's lost to a smaller guy already in Usyk, who came up a weight class. All right, yes, I know southpaw. A lot of people say, hey, the chin of AJ, we don't know. AJ mentally is kind of up and down sometimes in these fights.
True. Right, true. That's true. That's what I would give. I would try to give Andrew Ward the advantage there, but Usyk and Andrew Ward are two different people.
Yeah,
Let's get that clear. Even Now Andrew Ward retired undefeated, right? Usyk is still undefeated, but Usyk a bad dude. Which was Andrew Ward, but Andrew Ward's retired now, so I think it's a big difference from comparing Usyk now. When they was in their prime, maybe you could compare those two, but right now, bro, Usyk is hot. He's probably for me, Usyk is the best fighter in the world, pound for pound, no
mm.
hands down. He's the best one. So you can't compare right now. People cannot compare Usyk to Andrew Ward because Andrew Ward has been retired. He hasn't taken a punch in forever, so he don't know. And then yeah, so I don't see it. I can't see it.
So I'm tweaking then, huh?
Yeah. All right. Oh yeah, you got to. You thought Andrew Ward could win?
Bro, okay, call me crazy, man. Maybe I am a little nuts. Like I see it. I could see him like I
You
you know
think
what?
Josh can?
I remember Virgil bringing this up to me like back in like 2018 that he
All right.
wanted AJ to go up. I mean,
I remember
Andre to
that.
go to heavyweight because
Yeah,
he felt
he could
that
beat him.
Andre could beat him. And he brought up how Josh was chin. And he thought that Andre just could figure it out, had a better IQ, and that if there was one heavyweight that it would make sense for them to move up and fight, it would be Joshua. And like as time's gone on, like, like being in this game, like, a trainer's not just gonna pick someone just because, like, it's because like him and his fighter like see something and they've discussed like, hey, I think you'd be able to go this route and beat that person. And just I don't know, like I see like the template's there. Like we've already seen a smaller guy beat
Mm-hmm.
AJ, and
Right.
then yeah, it's a southpaw, but still it was a smaller guy that beat him, and I just
Okay.
think he's Ward's probably thinking too, like, look, if I one the chin, two the mentality, like there's no one in the world that has a mentality like me. Like I know I have him up on that. Yes, it's been a long time, but Andre's really taking care of himself too in those 8 years that he's been gone. And I
Mm-hmm.
feel like his approach wouldn't be like I don't know, I just feel that he would be very smart selection wise. It'd be a very tough fight over 12 rounds. He might just pull it off maybe by like a round or two.
I see that. I can see where you're coming from,
Yeah.
but also Andre been retired for a long time.
Yeah, he has.
Also, he's older and he's been retired for a long time. And AJ is still in his career right now. Not in his prime, but he's still in his career. He's taking punches recently. Andre he hasn't taken punches in a long time. So and hasn't been under lights in a long time. Maybe he took punches in a gym. Maybe he fought with the 10 ounce gloves on. But man, to be under lights is always different, you know. And I think that maybe he needs to test the water out first somewhere else before he goes to the somebody like AJ. That's what
Yeah,
I
no,
would think.
no, that's very, very true because that's what Usyk did. I think Usyk had two fights at heavyweight to
Right.
kind of test the waters before he went into those AJ fights and then the Fury fights.
Right. Yeah. So, and I'm saying, I think Usyk and Andre Ward is two different people right now. You know, like you could compare when Andre Ward was fighting, but not a retired Andre Ward. I don't see it personally. I don't see it same thing
Yeah.
like Canelo, but I can be wrong. I was wrong a bunch of times, and I'm not scared to be wrong again. But for me, I don't see Andre Ward beating Andy Joshua.
Yeah, maybe I'm just crazy. Like everyone online is cooking me
Listen,
today.
bro, it's only guess what? It's only one person that's gonna win. You're not crazy because it's a 50-50 chance. I'll take those. I play dice. I'll take those chances. 50-50, cool, right? So it's only one person gonna win, one person gonna lose. That's all a draw, and I don't think that's gonna happen. But look, I can see where you're coming from. I could see where you're coming from, but I come from a different stance. That's all.
Yeah. This doesn't say that like I'm going against AJ either. You know, I don't want this to
Yeah.
get out and people start. This guy right here. AJ is a phenomenal fighter. I see a path there. I just see a path there. Is it
Yes.
likely? Is it not? Who knows? That's why they fight the fights. But like I see a path there. Like I see like why maybe he's thinking like he could win. And then I
Yeah,
when
of
I started
course.
really thinking about
I
it.
can see that's what I'm saying. I can see it too. I can see where you're coming from. My only thing is the age and the he hasn't been in the ring inactivity for a long time. AJ he's bigger, he's younger, and he's been in the ring. That's all.
Yeah, but they're talking about this Jake Paul fight with AJ.
I think it. Listen, bro, I don't know what to think about that, man. I think AJ can end Jake Paul just like
Probably.
he did Ngannou. I think he if he hits Jake Paul, if Jake Paul could beat Andy Joshua, I don't know what to even think. I can't even. I guess we gotta respect him more. But Andy
Yeah.
Joshua is, yeah, you gotta respect him because it's Andy Joshua. But at the same time, Andy Joshua is not. Can we call Andy Joshua top heavyweight? I don't know if we
Yeah,
can
no,
even
I
call
think
him
so. Top five still, right?
top five. I don't know.
Yeah.
Top five.
Yeah, because like Usyk, it's difficult
Usyk,
because Usyk's cleared out the division. But
Usyk
like
clear everybody out.
if
But
you
I'm saying
take
Usyk
if you
number
take
one.
Usyk out, who's like left there? And I think like Josh was still like in the top five there.
I say top 10. You
Top
still
10.
got you still got fighters out there that's they don't have the name. Like Andy Joshua is just marketable. He
Yeah.
looked like a damn superhero. 6'6",
Mhm.
ripped up, shredded. So he looks like a superhero. Marketability, yeah, he's top. But as far as like fighting skills, I mean, I think they got other people that can definitely feel like they can beat him. It's so yeah, I don't know.
No, Fury more than likely is coming back. You still got Dubois there. You got Parker who's now rising.
Yeah, you
Um,
got the Asian dude. I
yeah,
mean, you got
Zhang. You
yes,
have
Zhang. I
fighting
still
this
say Deontay
weekend.
Wilder. I still put
Deontay.
Deontay Wilder in there. I mean, you got even like the big babies, maybe like Jarrell Miller or something like
Mm.
that. I don't know if you could say he's better, but he might be on that same type of level. You have the dude that beat the what's the dude that beat the other big baby, Bacoli.
Oh, Bacoli, yeah,
You have
yep.
Bacoli, then you have the other dude, the dude that had a draw with him, the dude
Yeah,
he trained with us,
Caballel, who beat Zhang also as well.
and then Agaba, Ajaga.
Yeah,
Well,
Jogba,
you
yeah.
got so as I'm saying, you got a lot of people at heavyweight that have some names that are good too. So I can't. But Andy Joshua's just big because he's marketable.
Mm, mm. Yeah, let's see what happens. Like, it just seems so nuts to me. Like, from the interviews that Eddie has done, he said, like, hey, like Jake and his team, like, really think they're gonna beat like AJ. And it's just like me as an observer, I just think, like, yo, like this guy's nuts. Like, what? Like,
You really believe in yourself? I
yeah, like
mean,
how do you
yeah, I
go
don't
from
see
fighting Chavez Jr. to going and
the
fighting AJ?
AJ. That's crazy. But I get listen, poor AJ. Everybody sees something in AJ. I guess
Yeah,
everybody won't fight
yeah,
AJ.
yeah.
Everybody must see something. Just like you said, the mental instability. Maybe, bro. Everybody sees something. If Jake Paul calling you out and you AJ, that means some. And Andre Ward's calling you out that's been retired for years. It's something going on with AJ. Everybody wants to pick on AJ right now.
Yeah, no, that's true. They They know it's a fat bag attached to that fight. That's what they
Yeah,
know.
everybody. Well, of course, everybody want that fat bag from AJ
Yeah.
for sure.
And like,
Everybody want that.
I don't blame AJ if he takes the Jake Paul fight. Honestly, like, why wouldn't you? Like,
I
it's
mean, he fought in
perceived.
Ghana, right? He
Yeah,
fought in Ghana. Why not?
yeah. Like, and
Why
it's
good?
like, okay, there's so many like pros for him. Like, it's a big bag. It should be like according to like boxing observers, a easy fight for AJ.
Right.
And he gets to end Jake Paul. Which a lot of boxing fans
Everybody want.
yeah,
Everybody want
want
him
to
out of
see
there
him
for
do.
sure. Right. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
so
Yeah.
we'll see, man. We'll see some interesting times right now in boxing. But
Yep.
Regis, good catching up with you, man. It's always great chatting it up with you. We look forward to your return to the ring. You said maybe somewhere around November,
I mean,
December.
I don't know. That's what I would want
Yeah.
around December. I can't say May, but that's what I want, like around December. Mid December, end of December, maybe end of November, something like that. Let me get a good little rest, be with my family for a little while, and then after that, get back to Vegas and start training again.
All right. That's Regis Prograis looking for big fights at 140 pounds for your pursuit of a third title in the
Yeah.
140-pound division. As always, Regis, good chatting. Thank you. Appreciate the time, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you, brother. Have a good one, man.